And that is something that GAM really are good at, is all going at once as a team on the correct timing there. They just all call for it and full send.
That one. And I do think, the story of the top laners is going to be massive in this one. Kiaya, such a huge part of GAM's success, as now he's got to try to get away, but a flash in from Broken Blade. Kiaya is out of there, and Broken Blade gets first blood.
And it is Skewmond first on the gank, and it is during those reset timers.
The game, but the first few minutes of game one, setting the attitude, setting the pace for the series. And now Kiaya is going to be the target yet again. G2 did their homework. They know who they got to go after. And Kiaya is trying to get away as Skewmon continues chasing forward. Hans Sama doesn't even need to provide the extra damage. Skewmon lifts away with 20 HP. Now LeBron's going to pay the price, so GAM get one back. But G2 are making plays, and they're making more of them faster until Emo has something to say about it, riding into the Weaver's wall. Levi's ready to knock him right back up into the air. And the feat of warfare is claimed by GAM!
This is going to be a game where they do have Kiaya a little bit underfed, a little bit on the back foot. Meanwhile, though, on the reset up to back to the top side, they do commit to those grubs. So GAM actually allocate the Taliyah back down to the bottom side as Broken Blade wailing away and getting some turret plate value in trade for that commitment up by grubs.
This could be a big game here for Broken Blade. Opportunity to seize control over the bot side river and go in for the first Drake. First piercing arrow from Hans Sama, doesn't find Elio or Artemis. Now the Weaver's Wall has arrived. Emo's ready to fight. They're gonna go after him, but it's LeBron the first target. Crash down into the Magnet Storm, finds Skewmon, but he's already powered up by the Subjugate. Curtain Call opens up, and Levi's ready to jump in. Skewmon is already down, and Levi's taking a kill. Hans Sama walks out of the way of the seismic shove. G2 continuing to try to get away from this one. Emo doesn't have enough damage to make anything else happen as the Deadly Flourish flies out. Now Chain CC to Hans Sama. He's stuck around for too long, and GAM with the punish.
Emo do have theirs ready.
Okay.
Caps pushed in on bottom side first, though.
Let's see how it goes. The Herald's already down to 2/3 HP. GAM thinking about it here, as already Emo's ready to make the teleport come in and join the fight first. But a huge engage coming out from G2. They've already killed Elio before he can do anything. Levi's into the back line, looking to find some damage here to Hans Sama. Nice seismic shove back into Skewmon. A little bit more damage is needed, and they're finally going to take him down, but he also has to be traded back again for another one. Broken Blade and LeBron trying to get away as Kiaya goes Mega Form. The Deadly Flourish doesn't hit, but the Weaver's Wall is ready to ride. Emo makes his way into the fight once again, and Artemis is ready to follow up. A little bit more damage on Caps isn't going to be there, as Broken Blade has to slice and dice his way back away.
Lead from deleting the rel so early on. Kiaya here, since he is chunked out, not going to be a GAM answer. GAM have called, we're going to give you that Herald, we will go for the trade, but can they survive under tower?
Yeah, Elio's coming up here to try to help Kiaya. Kiaya hit the wave to guarantee that he would turn into Mega Nars, who would have the extra HP, but Caps goes in, Broken Blade gets it done. Elio now surviving, trying to in a 1 versus 5 with his top laner already down. He's got no way home. G2 will end up losing Caps as part of the process, so a 2-for-1 trade for them. They'll take the tier 1 turret at the same time. They'll guarantee the charge into the tier 2, and nobody in GAM colors is even around this thing, Kobe. They're gonna get the tier 2 in the top lane for G2 as well.
Yeah, but so much is getting traded because GAM got the Dragon. They also are getting the towers here in mid lane and in bottom lane. Of course, the secondary tower is worth more, that tier 2, than the outer ones, but GAM getting both of these outer ones in addition to their Dragon.
G2 grabbing kill number 7 this game, and now with Emo dead for the next 30 seconds, it's an easy turret take here in the bottom lane. That's another tier 1 going the way of G2 as they build up to a 1,500 gold lead. Hans Sama, nice sidestep there with a Deadly Flourish to guarantee there's no counterpunch for GAM in the mid lane, but topside, Kiaya will get back a tier 1 of his own.
Yeah, GAM keep trading objectives back, but G2 getting all these extra kills plus the objective because they're the ones making the force, making the play. So they're the ones getting the little bit of extra gold from those kills and have trouble in the side lanes. But you see G2 every time they have him pushing a side lane, they have most of the team hovering over to that side too, so they would be able to collapse. Meanwhile, the other side lane,
Oh, Kiaya versus Broken Blade. Kiaya getting some good damage there, but he immediately uses the Mega Nart to knock Broken Blade away. The Sterix Gauge shield is enough to keep Broken Blade protected, keeping him feeling safe. Does not have to worry about popping the Dominus here early. Kiaya throws out another Q into the wallop. Even though he gets slowed down by the Stride Breaker, he still feels safe enough. Broken Blade, though, wanted to spin the flash to try to engage there on the enemy top laner, as now the seismic shove, the Weaver's Wall, it's Emo, turning a fair fight unfair, making it so GAM comes out on top.
Yeah, Kiaya baited him in there for Emo. Emo's going to continue pushing as well, heavily shoving down there. Kiaya doing so much work on this tower with the Trinity Force, and they're going to trade the Dragon. Secondary tower picked up here. Kiaya barely gets it.
He gets it, and now he's got to try to join up with the rest of the team. Levi's going to be in some danger here as LeBron and Caps go in, find some initial damage onto the GAM drum there, but Kiaya goes in for the Mega Nart onto both carries. He's doing a ton of damage to the Caps and Hans both, but he doesn't have enough to get the kills. Caps is still alive. Levi is already down, and G2 holds on. Elio trying to retreat as G2 have a 4v3. Broken Blade tries to slice his way into the fight as Emo, Artemis, and Elio have to run away. It was so close for GAM, but Caps barely holding on, fires back from the other side of the wall, and G2 get a 2-for-1.
Yeah, that was barely a sliver of HP left for Caps. I mean, Kiaya had found such a good angle with both carries trapped inside the red buff pit there. Not done quite yet, though. Okay.
Oh, the flash in from Elio, but a nice backstep there from Broken Blade to get out of the way of the seismic shove. Elio down to 200 HP now. GAM wanted something, but not quite hitting their skill shots.
And during that, G2 are taking the Otacon here. So Skewmon should be able to finish that one up. The attempt on Broken Blade's a life right there. They do get the Otacon. GAM probably gonna have to wait on that next to Leo Wall. Just keep your defensive vision up. Okay, they actually catch Lebrov coming in.
Lebrov's gonna take a decent amount of damage here. Immediately followed up there, but a nice pulverize onto 3 coming out from Lebrov, and now Emo's in the middle of everybody, has to flash back over the wall trying to stay alive as Skewmon is on the chase. GAM disengaging. A catch on an Alistar is often not a catch like you think it might be.
That's one you throw back sometimes,
yeah.
Flowers.
Back in the water you go.
That is a dangerous one. It does cost Emo his flash as well, so an advance. Very dangerous for GAM to try and check into this.
Yeah, nice piercing arrow there from Hans Sama to put about 20% of the health bar into Artemis. Another one connects there onto Elio. As Levi wanted to go for a win, becomes lightning. Emo fires off the Weaver's Wall as Levi dives into the background. Hans Sama in some danger, but he ain't gonna be killed off just yet. Levi's about to die to Skewmon as G2's counterpunch is way too strong. GAM thought they had him, but the only thing they have is an ambulance ride. GAM has already lost 4. A triple kill for Skewmon, and Kiaya is stuck between a rock and a hard place and a pillar, and he's about to drop as well. The ace for Caps for G2, the victory march. Game 1's done.
G2 ripped them apart there with the counter. Skewmon is way too beefy there. When Levi goes in, he just gets chomped down.
It's exactly what you said back in the lobby, man. Xin Zhao might like to scrap, but Trundle is ready to answer the call. G2 up 1-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.